Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this channel. If you're a returning viewer, listener, subscriber, and if you're new here, welcome to today's live. So, for this conversation, we're going to be talking about, Fed is best. So, living with autism and what that means for our little genius. So, welcome all. As you enter, please remember to hit the like button, the share button, and of course, the subscription button. And let us just continue to grow stronger together. All right, so I must also state that the products that we're going to tell you about in this live, we're not sponsored, so there's no sponsorship here regarding these items. So we're just sharing based on our experiences. We would love if one of these companies or all these companies would come on board and help to support us, because let me tell you, we have been spending a lot on these products. So, welcome, and please feel free to comment in the chat, share your experiences. Let me know if you have any questions, and also let's just keep it real and respectful. I always like to start these conversations by sharing that if you know one child with autism, you know one child with autism, because each child is unique, and with that, they'll have their own experiences. But at the same time, there can be some similarities. There can be some experiences that we can learn from and to help support each other. So that's what this platform is about too, to just share our experiences, to see if there is anything that we can learn from you. So again, welcome. We are so happy to have you. Our little genius is so happy to have you here. And we want to really grow this platform. All right, so again, we have been sharing, some of our challenges. And guys, please, if you could all just hit that thumbs up button, that would be fantastic. So if you are a parent of an autistic child, you perhaps know that mealtime isn't just about food, right? In our case, that is, it's about sensory safety, predictability, and sometimes survival, honestly. And so right now, our little genius, his world, revolves around three main things. So Pediasure, and I'm just gonna try and see how best I can show you these things. So Pediasure, of course, is one of the main things, right? So to be clear, our little genius is on a liquid diet, so he has never had solids. And again, our little genius is 7, right? So Pediasure. So this is really one of the main things. So that's Pediasure. And yup. So this is a liquid yogurt. So thanks for hitting the like button. So you will take strawberry, just about, I'll say strawberry, vanilla, and blueberry. These three flavors, all right? So, yup, so this is a liquid yogurt. And for the Pediasure, vanilla is his number one, and sometimes we'll take the strawberry. So we buy cases of Pediasure every month, and absolutely cases of yup. All right, so this is something that he takes. So these two main liquids, are really part of his diet or mealtime. Now, Popsicle, I don't know if you can see. So this is the brand that he takes. But there is a challenge. So this is the Chapman's popsicle. All right, so this is what he takes. But as you can see, there are 4 colors in there, and he only takes the blue and the red. So he will have the blue popsicles first in that order, and then the red ones. After that, it's a no-no. So guys, we need your help here. This is the only brand that he will have, and it's just the blue and the red. So if Chapman can just help us out with getting some blue and red ones, because it will save us, in terms of the other 2 colors. So that is what I'm talking about, for example, in the context of a support system. So let me see if I can get welcome, Eve. So again, that's that. So the lollipop, so the popsicle there. The Yop liquid yogurt. So you'll take strawberry, vanilla, and the blueberry flavor, all liquid. And the #1 source of, I guess, the main part of his diet, Pediasure. All right, vanilla for sure is the #1, but you'll also have a little strawberry, no chocolate. All right, so this is what. All right, so now that I've shown you all of that, I am sharing that to say mealtime is something that, is obviously important. And so as I shared, no solids. So our 7-year-old, he has never had solids, right? So, and there's no exception. All right. And a lot of us, perhaps you are told the story. Braden, welcome. You're told the story, like you'll perhaps say, well, if he's really hungry, then, he'll eat when he's hungry enough. Or, all of that. So what I'll say is that we just have to be careful in the context of, judgments, because as parents, we would have tried everything that we can, and so right now it's just the reality that we're faced with, and this is the reality. It's a liquid diet, and it's really, our aim is just fed is always best, right? And so that is really important to us. All right, so again, welcome. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscription button. We really want to grow this platform, to spread awareness, to share our experiences, with the hope that people can, gain something from it. And we also want to learn. So the little genius is here. I don't know if are you going to say hi? Can you say hi? Can you say hi? Well, he's nonverbal, but he'll say like hi, bye. So his words are coming. Thanks be to God. I'll say that. All right. So I guess some people will perhaps term this as like avoidance restrictive food intake disorder. Could be that. Or, extreme selective eating. We weren't given that label by any medical personnel, so we just say selective eating. All right, and based on what we have been researching, this selective eating is common in autistic children, right? And so I'm here to remind you, if you have a similar situation or experiencing, a similar context, that fed is best. So whatever it is that your child requires, then that's what we are aiming for, because sometimes perfection does not exist for us at points. So again, as I shared, Pediasure is his #1 source when it comes on to his diet. So with the Pediasure, it provides him with the vital nutrients and vitamins, calories, I guess, that the solid foods would provide. And so for us, it's like a lifesaver, obviously. And so that is important. So that's the Pediasure. if you're just joining us. So this is what, it has all the, I don't know if you can see it, but all the nutrients that they need to grow. All right. And then for the yolk, all right, the yolk is like for variety, like we try to include that. And so what happens is that, you know, the texture is smooth, and that is something that is really essential. The texture has to be smooth. So whether it's a Pediasure, well, the Pediasure is smooth, but sometimes we add like cereal to it to give it a little texture, but it has to be smooth, no lumps. So that is something that is definitely important in the context of, his sensory preferences. All right, so as I shared earlier with the Chapman's popsicle, you know, he'll only have the blue and the red colors, right? And so he's very specific about that. So I'll show you again if you're just tuning in. So just the blue and the red there. Okay, there you go. And so in the context of these decisions, Ali, welcome. Please hit the like button, hit the subscription button. It's all regarding sensory, right? And, I guess those sensory preferences. And so for our little genius, I guess these food choices are predictable in texture, temperature, flavor, and appearance. So there's no surprises there. So no lumps, or there's no change in the context of the recipe. So there's consistency, right? And for him, these things matter. All right. And so we look at it that the big win is that, okay, he's okay. Like, he's getting all the nutrients, he's getting what he needs. And I guess you can look at the other side where it becomes, I guess, a little bit stressful when you're wondering, okay, what will happen in the long run? The dental part, the dental care is another factor, and perhaps we'll talk about that in another conversation, but that is something that is very much connected to that. And then I'll say it becomes really stressful if it is that we cannot find these safe and predictable, foods. So one of the things that we try to do with Pediasure, for example, is to place an order before we run out of, the Pediasure, to get that in, because that's what he takes. And so we always want to have that. And so that is important for us to do. And then again, if we can't find the yolk, we try to, go around. But thankfully, we have been, finding these safe foods for him. So that is definitely important. And let me tell you something. You see the popsicle? These. If ever he needs one and the red and the blue is all done, trust me, he's not going to go to the green. They'll stay there. We have quite a few of those right now in the fridge, those other colors that he does not take, and they remain there. So that is something that is, important to him. Something that I'll say is that, when you have a child with this kind of restriction where the diet is concerned, so the selective eating, it is important for you to follow up with a dietitian and a pediatrician, because they'll work closely, or your family doctor, dietitian, family doctor, because it's important to ensure that he's getting, so they'll do the calculations, right, regarding what the child should be getting, for example, in terms of calories, what their iron intake is, vitamin D, they'll do all that calculation to make sure that, the child is getting what they need. And so in our case, we follow up with a dietitian, we have family doctor, pediatrician if we need to consult. And so these different supports help us to ensure that he's okay. So if they need to do like some testing, they'll do that to kind of, even though that is challenging too, to get done. But if we have to, then we have to do what we have to do to make sure that he's okay, right? And so again, it's not always straightforward. We try our best to expose him to different tastes, to different textures. So if we're having something, we'll ask him, we'll try, but usually what he does is to just take the fork or the spoon and feed us, so he enjoys doing that. So, but he's not going to necessarily taste or take any. As I said, he has never had solids. So that is important. So I just want to know from you, and I know we still have a few people here, like, what's your experience been like with, children living with autism who have, selective eating? Like, what have your experience been like in that regard? If you know someone, if you are navigating this journey, what has that been like for you? I would love to hear from you. And again, I am so happy that you're here with us, and we're looking forward to growing this platform and to spread awareness and to support our little genius. And let me tell you, he is a wonderful boy. Can you come and say hi? They're not hearing you. Can you come a little bit closer? Come. Let's go. 1, 2. Can you say yay? Can you say yay? Are you going to say yay? Can you say yay? Can you say hi?
Hi.
Hi. Good job. Can I get a high five? Nice. He just said hi, so hopefully you heard him. So his words are coming slowly but surely, but thanks be to God. God's timing is perfect. And so we are really hoping and praying that, he'll continue to thrive in every possible way. So the talking, so the communicating, the eating, we want to see, we're looking forward to that day when he shares, okay, I would like to have this to eat. What his first solid meal would be. So we're here and we would love to share that experience with you. Ryder, welcome. It's going. How are you doing? So, if you're interested in these conversations, so it's hard for us to do video because it's like to do like a video. We'll try, but I think live conversation is going to be the most easiest for us right now. We are not able to do all that recording and editing because it's really busy. The little genius needs a lot of attention and supervision. And as I shared in our last live, about elopement and what we're experiencing in that way. So again, yeah, we'll just try to have live conversations. So we are so happy to have you here. I'm happy that you're doing good, Ryder. And we ask that you hit the subscription button and let us continue to grow stronger together. And if you have like a topic regarding, families navigating autism, or a question that you'd like us to answer in one of our live conversation, then you can definitely let us know. We would love to see how best we can answer, if we can, based on our experience here, as a family journeying with autism, or navigating this autism journey. But yeah, so that's that. And I just want to remind you that if you're out in the public and you so happen to see a family, let's say at a restaurant, and you so happen to see a family, let's say a family of five, and one child isn't eating, do not, drum to any conclusions. Do not judge to say, this child is not eating and everybody else is eating. It's not looking good, because sometimes it could be just that. So our little genius, oftentimes we don't even get the opportunity to sit in a restaurant to have something to eat, because you won't really have it, and because of sometimes the noise, and it's just too much people, it's just too much, too overwhelming. So sometimes we don't have that. So a lot of times it's like takeout, or we'll just, if we're on the road, we'll just order, have whatever in the car. And so that's a part of the journey too. So our journey sometimes is different. So if you so happen to see a family, it could be that that child might be navigating autism and they're not able to have the food that the rest of the family is having. And sometimes the children, they don't want you to see them having their Pediasure there. So in my case, and then that's another story, as I shared with the Pediasure, as you can see here, our little genius, he'll take the Pediasure, but guess from what? A nipple bottle. So that is something else. But he'll have, and yes, the yup too, he takes from a nipple bottle. Sometimes he'll have apple juice, he'll take that from a cup, and water, he'll take that from a cup. But there's some things that he's just not going to take from the cup, and the Pediasure is one of them, right? And so that's a part of it. Yeah, that's a part of it. So what I want to say to you is that fed is best, all right? And so sometimes we're there and we're worried about, okay, they're not having solids, but as long as they're getting the nutrients that they should be getting at this point, that is what is important. And on your own, I don't think you can navigate that. You need some professional guidance, some professional help. So a dietitian at minimum, plus your family doctor, to help you navigate this. So you ensure that is weight, that chart that they usually use to see if it's weight and height, they're aligned and all of that. That is important to check. And so all of this to say, sometimes it might mean that, oh, we need to add like a teaspoon of olive oil or some cooking oil to the Pediasure for him to get some more fat, whatever it may be, right? And a lot of times too, just before I go with this Pediasure, sometimes, people would ask, so why not put this or that in the Pediasure? Listen, you gotta be careful with that one, because if you mess this up, because this would be the main source that they're getting those nutrients from, then the child does not have anything to take. And my little genius is a determined one. So if he decides that he's not taking something, you can't give it to him, and that's it. That's it. So I know a lot of people will say, but hey, if he's really hungry, no, he's determined and he's not going to take it. He's not going to have it. And so that is something that we have to be cognizant of. So again, for today's live, fed is best. So if if your child is having, just certain things that they require and that is safe for them, then go for it. So it could be just 2 colors or even one of the colors from this set of popsicles. So our little genius, he'll only have the blue and the red. So starting with the blue, when the blue runs out, he'll go to the red. And then you'll have, yup, this is another consistent thing in his diet. And of course, the main source here, the main thing, Pediasure Complete. You'll take the vanilla as well as the strawberry, but more of the vanilla than the strawberry. All right, so thank you so much for coming over. We really appreciate it. And please, share this channel with your friends and family members. And even if they don't have family members with autism, we want everyone to learn about it so that for family like us, we get more support than, judgment or criticisms, so it's more, we want to build a society where everyone, understands, what we're experiencing, because these kids, they will be adults, and if we're able to understand each other and support each other, then this world will definitely be a better place. So thank you so much for coming over. I'm seeing about 11 of us here. Could everyone just hit the thumbs up button, the like button? That would be wonderful. That will definitely help our genius. So you're helping to spread the word about this platform. And who knows? I don't know. What's the name of this company? Pediasure. I think it's Abbott. Maybe they'll reach out. Yup. Maybe they'll reach out. Let me see. I don't even know who made this. Honestly, I'm looking for the Yup. I don't know. Yoplait. I don't know. Looks like Yoplait Canada. So maybe they'll reach out. Maybe they'll reach out. And of course, Chapman's reach out too as well. So help us, guys. Because it would be good if even if we could get ones that are really designed for him, where it's just red and blue. Because every time we purchase, we have the orange and green there. And I'm not so much a popsicle person, so that is really doing well with that. And again, these two. More so this big one here. I think this is Abbott. I think so, yeah. There's a company there. Abbott. So, yeah, if we could get all these support, then that would be fantastic. All right, thank you guys so much. Do not leave without hitting the like button, the share button, the subscription button, and I'll wait to see if I see any new comments in the chat. But thank you so much. I'll just wait a few more seconds to see if there are any new comments coming this way. But I know our little genius would love to say bye. Can you say bye? More, can you say bye? Can you say bye? Can you say bye? Say bye. Well, he's not saying bye. I don't know if he's ready for you guys to go yet or he's waiting for the subscriptions. More, can you say bye? Say bye. He's not paying me any mind right now, guys. That's fine. All right, so I'm not seeing any new comments, but again, thank you so much for coming over and for listening. And I hope that you'll take away something new. So we'll definitely see you in the next live. So bye for now. More. Are you saying bye? More? Can you say bye? I guess he's not saying bye this evening. Can you say bye? Can you say bye? Can you say bye?
Bye.
A little bit louder. Bye.
Bye.
Very good. I think you guys, you must have heard him. All right, take care and